let's just loosen up a little bit, kind of shake out the fingers, shake out your legs, wiggle your toes a little bit. It's like really just kind of ease in. And I want to take my glasses off. So if you wear glasses, go ahead and do that. And I'm just gonna take them off for a minute. Those who know me, you know that I'm blind as a bat, so I really can't see without them on. But for this part of our practice, it's best to have them off. So go ahead and soften your eyes. If your eyelids get really heavy, and then you're gonna bring your fingers. Let's do the pointer and index finger. We're gonna take our thumb. It's gonna rest on ring finger, and just rest right here, right at your cheekbone. And then we're going to gently pull out. Nice, easy strokes. And then take those same fingers and then bring them down now. You're going to go under the cheekbones. And then again, it's nice and easy here. And then we'll take the fingers up to our right above our eye, right above your eyebrows, and then just gently pull away. Again, nice, easy movements. Now we're going to circle the fingers all the way around, go through the temples, all the way down to the cheekbone. And then when we go in the opposite direction, all the way around, all the way back up, right to the center, and then bring them down your nose, and then gently pulling away. And then go ahead and relax the hands down and so we'll shake them out. Soften the eyes, drop the chin towards the chest. And let's take a cleansing breath. Let's inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. And repeat, really big inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. And gently lift your head up. And then let's take a circle with the neck. Again, just relieve some tension before we get started with the active part of our practice. Reverse in the direction, nice and easy. And then going in the opposite direction again. And reverse. Just move the head in whatever way feels good for you. And then we'll revisit this at the end of our practice to make sure we leave any kinks right on the mat and don't take them throughout our day. I'm going to grab my glasses, so if you have glasses and you need them on, go ahead and put them back on. And then we're going to start in a mountain pose. Feet are a little less than shoulder width apart. Then you want your weight to hit all four corners of your feet. Softness to the knees. I have a tendency to stand back on my legs, so I have to really make an effort to soften the knees and then elongate the spine. Pelvis is straight down. Arms are going to come down to the side. Nice, easy breathing here. And then on your inhale breath, let's lift those arms all the way overhead. Just take your gaze with you. Reaching straight up. Let's bring our hands into Namaste or prayer position. We can slide into our heart. Let's go ahead and set an intention for our practice. Whatever you want that to be for you, all of our intentions are going to be different. My intention today is just to keep my mind focused on hope. Hope for my family, hope for the future, hope for this world, that we get through this hard time that we're all, as a collective, going through. And on your next inhale, breath, let's lift those arms straight up in the air. And exhale, let's open and wide, reaching up. Let's welcome some sun energy into the body, getting ourselves ready for active movement. Bring the hands back to Namaste and slide them to the heart. Just relax the hands down and then walk up to the front of the mat. And again, feet are placed a little bit less than shoulder width apart. Nice and balanced in your feet. And then let's sweep the arms up overhead. And then we'll bring the hands to namaste and we'll float down. Notice you put a soft bend to your knees as you float. Get all the way to the floor. Softness on the floor. Now we're just warming up the body, so I don't want you to force anything here. Gently rock the hips here. And then rolling up to standing, taking your time. Lifting your arms up overhead once again. And we'll repeat. Hands to namaste. And we'll float down. Releasing the hands down, softness to the knees. And then let's rise halfway. Flatten out your back, rest the hands on the shin, rotate the shoulders over. You should feel a nice stretch right here in your hamstring. It should be a nice gentle stretch, shouldn't be anything too intense. And then flatten down. Nice and easy. Again, bend to the knees. You can have the knees as deep of a bend as you feel like you need. And rock the hips. And then this time we're going to sweep the arms up nice and wide as we rise. Lifting up. And then hands to namaste and back down once again. This time let's soften the hands down. Step the right foot back. Pausing. Fingers are nice and wide on the mat. Left leg back. High plank. Soften the knees. Flatten out the tops of the feet and then go ahead and open the knees wide towards the corners of your mat. We'll bring the big toes to touching. Sailing the hips back, we're going to go into a child's pose. Forehead softly grazes your mat. And then let's slowly bring both arms along the sides of our legs. Palms facing up. And then let's wiggle our fingers here. You know, we're warming up the body. Moving with ease. And I today will have to take my time because my allergies are so bad. I'm so congested. I hope you guys aren't suffering from this. I really do. It stinks. But the beauty of this suffering is that I get to see beautiful blooms outside. Lovely green. The neighborhood's beautiful right now. And slowly rise up, placing the hands down, bring the knees in. Let's tuck the toes. Walk the hands forward, lifting up the hips for a high plank. Pressing the heels of the hand in. Core muscles are engaged. And then soften the knees down. And then we'll rock back this time, resting on our heels. Now, if it's easier for you, instead of resting on the heels, you can open the feet wide and take your bottom down to the floor. I find that that puts too much pressure on the tops of my feet, so I prefer to be on my heels. Now, if your knees are like, you know what, Kelly, this does not feel good on my knees, you can always stay up high. You don't have to sit down. So just kind of play with that and see what feels better on your body. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and sit back here, elongate the back. Let's lift the arms straight up in the air. Let's bring the right arm around the front. Have some nice eagle arms. Elbows are lifted. Let's reverse the direction. Again, taking your time. And then go ahead and untwist. Rising up, you're down on your heels. Tuck your toes. Hands go to the side of your mat. Fingers are out nice and wide. And you want to have pointer going straight out. Thumb and pinky and thumb have good contact with your mat. And you're going to lift the hips up, press the heels back, and then downward facing dog. You can go ahead and nice little pedals with the legs. Easy movement. Rocking your heels back. Coming up on your tiptoes. Soften the heels back down. And we'll look towards the hands and we'll slowly crawl forward, making our way back to the front of our mat. And then forward fold. Nice bend to the knees. Rest your chest on your thighs. Flatten the hands out, so that lets you know you're in a deep bend. Now let's open up the shoulders, starting with the right arm. Lifting up, gaze goes with you. And then soften down. Let's do the left side. And soften down. Rising halfway, flattening out the back. Let's go ahead and rotate those arms around, pulling straight out. And floating forward. It goes down. Notice the stretch now in the back of your legs. Release the hands. Let them relax down on the floor. Let's roll up to standing. Arms up overhead. Let's go ahead and connect them. Turn them inside out and pulling straight up. We'll take the hands behind our head and press the chest. I tend to lock my legs, so I'm going to go ahead and soften the knees here. It's a deliberate softness. And then coming back to center. Let's go to the right. Nice easy stretch in the side body. And coming back to center. Let's make our way to the left. Hopefully this feels good for you. It really feels good for me. And then let's come back to center. Keeping the hands connected. Again, making your way back to the front of your mat. We're going to float down. Hands are going to stay connected. We're going to release the hands down. Step the right foot back. And then pivot the heel down. And then we're going to press up. Arms are lifted. Warrior one. Go ahead and sink down to that front leg. Arms are straight up. Let's engage our core muscles now, turning the pinkies in. Sinking down. And then turning the hands back. Folding forward, release the hands down. Turn the back toes. Stepping forward, we're back into a forward fold. We're going to repeat this on the left side, stepping the left foot back. And then pivot the heel down. Front knee is bent. We're going to rise up. Warrior one on the opposite side. And again, sinking down into that front knee. Go ahead and turn the pinkies in. Engage your core. And then turning the hands out. Folding forward once again. Turning that back foot. Stepping forward. Back into a forward fold. Let's release the hands down. Stepping back for a high plank. And then we're going to take a full vinyasa, chaturanga, upward facing dog, push-up position. And tucking the toes back to downward facing dog. My feet are sliding. It is kind of funny. Look towards your hands and step your right foot forward between your hands. Pivot the back heel down. Rising once again, warrior one. And this time we're going to transition into a warrior two. Turning that back foot out. Arms are going to go out nice and straight. Bending that front knee. Checking in with the back arm, making sure it's nice and level. Reverse your warrior, reaching up towards the sky. And coming back to warrior two. And then turning the back foot, hands come down. We're stepping forward, back into a forward fold. Releasing the hands down, stepping back for a high plank. Rolling forward on the feet, chaturanga, upward facing dog. That was kind of sloppy, sorry. And tucking the toes back to downward facing dog. We're going to look towards our hands and plant the left foot forward. Pivot the back heel down, warrior one. We're going to go ahead and transition to a warrior two. So we're going to turn that back foot. Arms are going to go out straight, sinking in that front knee. And we'll reverse. And coming back to your warrior two. Checking in with that back arm. And then bringing both arms forward. Stepping forward, forward, forward. Rolling up to standing. Arms up overhead. Hands to your heart. And then coming back to you guys. Hi. Let's go ahead and lift that right arm up. And then go ahead and place it at the top of your shoulder. Let's go ahead and open up the shoulder some. And then we'll slowly bring the elbow forward. And then we'll lift the arm up and we'll soften down. Let's do the left side. The left arm goes straight up. Let's go ahead and plant it at the top of our shoulder. Go ahead and open that elbow. And bring the elbow forward and lift it and release it down. Let's lift both arms up overhead and then this time grab the right wrist and pull straight up. Let's rock to the right. Let's make our way to the left. And back to center. Let's go ahead and switch, grabbing the left wrist, pulling straight up. Let's rock to the left this time. And coming back to center, making your way to the right. And back to center, we're going to release the hands down. And then I want you to open the legs into a wide stance. I don't know if your house is like mine, but it stays, even as it warms up outside, the house stays cold. But, so we have our heat still on in our fireplace. But now I'm moving, I'm heating up. So if you're heating up, let's go ahead and we'll make this into some warm yoga now. Hands to the waist, toes are pointed forward. Soft bend to the knees. Let's go ahead and fold halfway. I don't want you to go all the way down to that. Head is going to point straight out. Shoulders are open. Go ahead and take those elbows and bring them in, pressing the shoulder blades together. And then releasing the elbows down. And then we'll repeat that once again, bringing those elbows in, pressing them together, and then release them down. Soften the hands, and we're going to let them swing here. Loosening up our shoulders now. And then let's just make some circles. And then reverse the direction. And then go ahead and just soften the swing. And then we're going to take the arms side to side. And then soften the swing once again. Hey, Penny. And then we're going to take the hands front to back. As you guys know now, the dogs like to come visit. Well, actually, the little one, the other ones, she could care less. We're going to go front to back. And then we'll slow it down. Hands to the waist and slowly rise. Stepping in. Hands down. Mountain pose. Using breath. Let's go ahead and bring our hands to Namaste and bring our right foot into kickstand. Let's slide the foot up underneath our knee and open the hips. Let's go right into a tree. Let's lift the arms straight up and open. Let's go into a cactus. Lifting the arms up, turning the palms to facing. Let's bring them back to Namaste. Slide them back to your heart. Release your foot. Let's shake out our legs. Let's do the left side. Left foot comes into kickstand. Slide it up underneath your knee. Go ahead and lift the arms straight up in the air. Then go ahead and open. Let's go ahead and bring the hands into the goddess position. Lift the arms up. Turn the palms to facing. Bring them in. Slide it back to your heart. Release your arms, release your legs, and shake it out. We're going to go into a deeper tree. Now, if you're like, you know what, my balance is off, you can stay in kickstand. You're going to bring it to right up underneath the knee. Or you can take the foot and place it, I don't know where I'm going today, at the top of your thigh. If your balance is good. And I'm not sure if my balance is here today. I don't think it is. Kind of play with it. Now, hands to your heart, and we'll pause. Now you can always take this hand and your right hand and hold the foot in place, if that's helpful. And then we'll go ahead and slide the foot down, release the hands, shake out the legs. Do the same thing on the left side. Maybe the side's a little more balanced. I think when you're congested and your ears are clogged up, it kind of throws your balance off. So be gentle with yourself, as I need to hear my words and be gentle with myself. This side feels a little less steady. I'm going to hold the foot in place and do a half prayer. And then we'll soften the hands and release the foot down and shake it out. Let's do a few balance postures. Because my balance is so great today, let's go ahead and lift up the right leg. Bring your right hand to the inside and go ahead and press the hip open. Bring the leg back. And then we're going to press our right foot back. Knee is going to point down. And then we're going to lift both arms in the air, taking compression out of our back. We're going to soften the hands down first and release the foot. Shake out the legs. We'll do the left side. Left leg comes up and comes to the inside. Go ahead and press that hip open. And then bringing that knee forward. Hand comes to the top. Pressing that leg back. And arms go straight up. Nice and long. And then go ahead and soften the hands. Soften your foot. Just go ahead and shake out the legs. Let's bring the hands to the waist. Let's open our hips a little bit more. Just take that right leg to the side. So it's to the side. You didn't have to lift high, but just enough that you feel like you're getting a stretch in the hip joint. And then go ahead and soften down. Let's do the left. Left leg comes up. And soften down. Let's go ahead and step the right foot in front of the left. And pausing here. Releasing your hands down. Bring the hands back to the waist and step back. Let's take the left foot to the front. Weight goes right in the center here. And then bring your hands down. Bring the hands back to the waist and we'll step back. Release your hands, shake out your legs. Let's go ahead and lift up the right leg, knee is pointed down, and then grab the top of the foot if you can. And then soften. Let's do the other side. Lifting up, knee pointed down. So my goal today was just to do just a general practice to just get an overall good body stretch. So hopefully we are getting that in. Go ahead and soften. And shake out your legs. I miss being in class when you guys say, hey, I need to work on this today or I need to work on that. So I got to come up with stuff that I think everybody may need. Let's go ahead and go right back into the front of our mat, into a nice mountain pose. Let's lift those arms up overhead. This time let's swan dive down. Soften the hands, step back for a plank. I'm going to stay in a high plank, lift up the right leg. And then bring that right knee forward and pause. Let's angle it towards our right elbow. Left leg slides back. And then we're going to come into a sleeping swan. Resting down on your forearms if that is comfortable. You can stay pressed up in your hands if it is not. And then we'll slowly rise. Let's go ahead and tuck the toes of the back leg. Lift the knee up. Nice stretch to your hamstrings and your quads on your left leg. Let's go ahead and soften the knee, lifting up the foot. We're going to walk the hands in, lifting up higher. You can either pause here or reach behind and grab your foot, getting a deeper stretch in your quad. And then we'll soften the foot, hands come forward. We're going to sweep the leg back into a high plank. Let's go ahead and pedal the knees first. Pausing.
Left knee comes forward. It's angled towards the side of the mat. Right leg stretches back. Chest comes forward. We'll go into a sleeping swan on the other side. And then we'll slowly press up into our hands. Go ahead and tuck the toes of the back leg and lift the knee. And then we'll soften down. Lift up the leg, reaching behind with your right hand to grab your foot. And then we'll soften, sweeping the legs back, high plank, pedal the legs. And then soften the knees, arms up beneath the shoulder. Let's go into a tabletop. Dropping the chest and look up for a cow pose. And rounding the spine, going into a cat. Coming to neutral, rocking back on your heels, and then we'll soften down. We're going to bring the legs out in front of us. And we're going to make our way into a Dandasana. So the heels are going to be down, toes are up, back is straight, hands are next to the hips. If you have a tendency to either sway back like this, your core strength isn't there, you can elevate yourself on a block here. Let's see if I can demo that. So you can place the block underneath your bottom or a folded blanket, towel, anything to elevate you. And it helps to bring the pelvis forward. And then if you're not using a prop, go ahead and soften. If you are, move your prop first. And then we'll soften. And then let's open and close the legs. And pedal the knees up and down. And then go ahead and soften the heels down. Once again, hands come into the mat. Gently press up. We're going to keep the back straight, lift those arms up. Let's float forward. Soften the elbows. You can always hold onto the side of the legs. You don't have to grab your feet. And if you have a strap, or you can use a scarf here or a belt, you can wrap it around your feet and it pulls you a little bit further to get a deeper stretch in your hamstring. Slowly rise. Keeping the legs engaged here. Turn the hands out. We're going to waterfall. So we're going to wiggle the fingers. We're going to go towards our toes. Again, you can rest the hands on your legs. Shoulders up right here. Legs are engaged. And then we'll lift those arms up. And then we're going to soften down. Let's go ahead and slide the feet down. Bring your chest towards your thighs. Let's go ahead and grab our elbows. Chest lifts. Press the heels into the floor. Lift up your toes. Let's soften the right foot down, keeping the left one up. And the switch. Let's lift the left one up, and they're both up now. And then soften the feet down. We're going to shift forward. Head is going to soften here. And then release your arms and wrap them around the front of your legs this time. Shoulders are nice and open. And slowly lifting up your head, relaxing your arms down, stretch out the legs, and then go into a wide leg seated position. Shifting your pelvis forward, hands come down flat right here. You can pause here. If you want to increase the stretch, you can come down on the elbows. Again, play with it and see what you need today. Now, if you're staying up in your hands or if you're on your elbows, just try to stay soft here with the arms, turning the head to the right. Now, your heels are engaged here. The heels are down, toes are up, so your legs are activated. And then bringing your gaze down, let's turn the head to the left. And bringing the gaze down, soften. Just go ahead and press up and pause. And we're going to fold forward again. You may be able to go a little bit deeper now because you should feel like, okay, I've loosened up in here. I may be able to go a little bit further. So just kind of play with it and see where you are. Just go ahead and shift forward first and then soften down. You can either soften your head or you can keep it up, whatever feels better for you. And then go ahead and press up into your hands. Open nice and wide going towards your feet. You can always rest your hands on your legs and we're still forward here. I know you might start to feel the burn, so we're going to come out of this fairly soon. Just breathe here. And then we'll slowly rise up, sliding the hands up the legs, and straighten out the back, and you'll bring your legs in. Let's go ahead and pedal the legs up and down. Just open and close the hips once again. And then we're going to bring the hands down, and we're going to lift the heels off the floor. Now, I'm not really pressing hard. I'm just using my hands as balance. I'm going to just make some circles with the ankles here. And the reason I'm having my heels lifted off because I want to engage my legs here and still get a little release from my ankle joints. And then we'll go ahead and soften. Let's slide the feet up. And we'll pause in the center of our mat. We're going to go ahead and roll onto our backs. And then bring the knees up towards the chest. Give the knees a nice little squeeze. And then rocking our back side to side. Nice, easy movements. So I have a mic behind me, so I'm not going to move too much because I don't want to smash it. And then we'll just pause here. And now let's just make some more circles with the ankles. Wiggle the toes. Should feel really good. And then let's keep the legs in place. Let's go ahead and bring our hands behind our head, elbows out. Let's go ahead and do a little more core work. Go ahead and lift your head up and stretch out your right leg. And then bring it in and do the left. We're going to bicycle the legs. Keep your head lifted. As long as it's not too much stress on your neck. If it is, go ahead and switch. Go ahead and keep your head down. And switch. And switch. And one more time, we'll switch. And then bring the knees in, soften your head, and let's lift up for reclined tabletop. Soften your hands down next to you. Let's activate the core again. Pressing the right foot forward. This time the heel is down, toes are pointed up. Pausing. And then soften the right leg. Let's do the left. Press that left leg out. Heels down, toes pointed up. Core is engaged in a different kind of way. So you should feel it more along the side than you do right in the center. But your center is activated as well. It's just not as intense. Go ahead and bring that leg back in. And then we're going to lift a little bit higher. We're going to pause here. And then press both feet forward. Activate your core. So those legs go almost straight. And then we'll soften them back in. And then we'll repeat that once again, pressing forward, activating your core. And soften. Keeping the knees in place. Let's open those arms into T and let's go into a reclined twist. I got a little bit close to the steps today. Hello, steps. Let's take your knees to the right. Let's bring our right hand, put it on top of our hip, turning your head to the left. And you may feel the stretch in your low back. If it feels like, you know what, my back does not feel great here, you can keep the arm, the right arm straight, and it doesn't pull you quite as much to the right. Again, play with it and see what you need. Go ahead and soften the arm down, bring the head back to center, bring both knees back up, and bring your hands in, and we're going to pause here for just a breath or two. And then we'll go into a twist to the opposite side. Knees go to the left, arms go back out in T, head goes towards the right, left hand comes to the top of the right hip. And again, a gentle pull. You don't need to force it. And then bringing your head back to center, relaxing the hands down. Let's lift the legs up, bring them back to the middle. Wrap the arms around and let's just roll our low back once again. And then we're going to plant the left foot down. Keep that right knee bent. Put both hands on the top of the knee and gently bring it towards you. And I want you to lift up that right leg. Transition your hands to the back of your thigh. And then lift the left foot up off the floor. Go ahead and stretch out that left leg. It's going to hover above the floor. And then point your toes on the left. And point your toes on the right. And then flex both feet. Soften. And then we're going to bend the left leg and place the foot down. And then bend your right. Hands go back to the top. Pulling the thigh towards you. And then go ahead and soften down. We're going to do the opposite side. So bring the left knee towards the chest. Hands come to the top. And gently pull it towards you. Lift that right foot off the floor and stretch that right leg out. It's hovering above the floor. Let's go ahead and point the toes. And then flex our feet. And then let's go ahead and soften. And then relax that right foot down and then we'll slide it back. Bring that right knee towards the chest and release the foot down. Let's stretch out the right leg. The left foot is going to stay on the floor. Hands going to stay down. We're going to let our core control our leg. Pressing your hands into the mat. Lift that leg straight in the air. Bring it towards you as close as you can. And then bring it back towards the floor. And then slide that right foot up. Slide the left leg out. Pressing your right foot into the mat. Along with your hands, go ahead and lift that leg up in the air. Keep lifting, lifting, lifting. Bringing that left leg as close to you as you can possibly get. A little bit closer, a little bit closer, a little bit closer. Try to keep that right knee up. The core is doing all the work. And then we'll soften, lowering that leg back down. Let's go ahead and slide the foot up. Let's open our hips a little bit more. Let's bring our right ankle and cross over our left knee. And gently press open. Let's press the left heel into the mat and lift the toes up. You can wiggle those toes if you want, or hold in place, up to you. And then soften your foot down. Relax your hand and uncross. Let's do the opposite side. Cross the left ankle over the right knee and gently press open. Let's go ahead and press the right heel down, toes are up. And again, you can wiggle those toes if you want. And then go ahead and soften the foot. Relax your hand. And then uncross. Let's lift both knees back to the chest. And give them a squeeze. We're going to go into a full body stretch, but we're going to keep our legs elevated. So you're going to stretch the legs out. Arms go out. Everything's lifted off the floor. Really reach, 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 reach. And then bring it back in. We're going to repeat that once again. Stretch those legs, stretch those arms, reach, 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 reach. And bring them back in. Let's settle the feet back on the floor once again. I want you to open up your inner thighs a little bit more. Bring your soles of your feet together. We're going into a reclined butterfly. So these are your butterfly wings. And then let's all go ahead and have some wings with our arms. So go ahead and take the arms into goddess or cactus position. Then you can lift up and down if that you need to have some movement, or you can hold in place, up to you. Let's go and flip our hands over into our inner thigh and press open. You should feel a little more intensity here. And as you press open, your core engages, your shoulders open, chest is lifted. And then go ahead and soften your hands. Roll the feet down. Knees are pointed up once again. Let's go ahead and lift the knees towards the chest. We're going to go into our inversion practice today. I do modified inversion. I don't do handstand and headstands in my classes live when I teach, so I'm not going to do them online. If it is part of your home practice and it's something you would like to do, you can go ahead and go into a handstand or a headstand. But if not, lay on your back, shoulders are relaxed, and we'll slowly lift those legs straight up in the air. Now you can also use a wall here for support. So you can have your bottom pressed up against the wall and then have your legs straight up the wall. You can also use a strap and hold the legs in place. So there's different things you can do to keep the legs up, and you're getting the benefits of being upside down. I rarely go all the way upside down because it's a lot of pressure on my sinuses, and people who know me know I have year-round allergies, but it just tends to be pretty bad right now and in the early fall. But again, whatever you need to do. I feel like I'm babbling a little bit today. Let's go ahead and release our hands. Go ahead and reach up towards your feet and open and close your fingers. Nice. Spread the hands back and forth. And then let's make circles with the wrist. The hands are open here. Your legs are tight. You can bend the knees and then lift them back up when you want. Up to you, or you can place your feet down. Let's make a fist. And then we're going to take and lift the right arm all the way overhead. Left hand stays up. And then bring that fist back up. Let's do the opposite side. Left arm goes back. And then we'll lift up, release the thumbs, and we'll bend the thumbs. And then making some circles, reversing the direction. Close the thumbs over your hand and circles with the wrist. We're almost there, guys. Just about. Let your core keep those legs up. Let's reverse the direction. And then pause, spread those fingers out nice and wide, reach up towards your feet. Open into a V. Wrap the hands around the back of the leg and bend into a frog. Let's grab the sides of our feet. Happy baby. Let's go ahead and roll our back, kick our feet. And you can move as exuberant in this as you like, or you can be pretty calm and just hold in place. It's just whatever you feel like your body needs today. Just releasing any tension you're still holding, leave it here. And then let's stretch out for a full body stretch. This time legs down, arms up overhead. And again, wiggle your toes, open and close your fingers, whatever feels good in your stretch. Just go ahead and soften the hands down next to us. Keep the legs out nice and wide, soften your eyes. Give ourselves a few breaths here. Shavasana, just relaxing down. Letting every muscle in your body just be present. Breath is nice and soft now. Let any tension just roll off. Just a few more breaths here. And slowly wiggle your fingers and toes. Make circles with your wrists and your ankles. And slowly open your eyes and rolling over to your side. Nice little pause. And let's slowly make our way up into a seated position, taking your time. Nice and easy, make some circles here with the neck. And then dropping your head towards your right shoulder. Nice, easy stretch right from the side. Roll it back, take it to the left. And chin towards the chest, your hands to your heart. I want to bring my thumbs to my third eye. As I thank you for sharing your practice. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for sharing today. I hope your day is filled with all the happiness your heart can hold. Hope to see you here next week. Hopefully soon we'll be back in the studio. I'll have the class posted live in a few hours. Had this live class posted in a few hours. So if you want to go back and just revisit some of the practice, and I have all of our classes that we've had so far on my YouTube channel, Kelly Martin Yoga. So check it out. Namaste.